Welcome to Serato Sample 1.1. I'm OP, Artist Relations Manager here in New York City. Serato Samples are a powerful and intuitive new sampler plugin for producers, available in VST and AU formats. Since the release of Serato Sample 1.0, music producers across multiple genres have used the plugin with ease and efficiency to create music. We listened to producers' feedback, and we've made two major improvements, adding cue output routing for per pad output to DAWs, and also undo redo to correct accidents and mistakes to cue points and parameters. Serato Sample officially supports Ableton, FL Studio, Machine, and Logic, but should also work with other DAWs that supports VSTs and AUs. So why use cue output routing? Using cue output routing will prevent users from creating multiple instances of Serato Sample with the same sample source to control mixer output for individual sounds. Step 1. I opened up an empty session of FL Studio. In the channel rack, I clicked the plus symbol to load a plugin. I went to More Plugins and selected Serato Sample. Once Serato Sample was on the track, I loaded the song Impeach the President. Step 2. I wanted to chop the drums to isolate the kick, snare, and hi-hat. So I clicked on the arrow for the auto set features and selected Set Slicer. I selected the beat size of 1/2 for the set slicer by using the arrows next to the beat size. I then pressed Set Slicer and 16 slice regions were created. I adjusted the start and end points of each of the regions to get the desired sound for the kick, the snare, and the hi-hat. I also made adjustments to the release parameters on each of the pads to further shape the sound. Once I got the drums the way I wanted them to sound, I selected the output in Serato Sample and began to select cue output routings for each pad. Step 3. So this is how I set up cue output routing for the drums in FL Studio. In Serato Sample, I pressed the VST wrapper settings symbol at the top left corner of the plugin. I then selected the processing tab. From there, I pressed the auto map output, which made 16 separate output channels assigned to the mixer. When I began to play the cue points, each of them were routed to different channels in the mixer. On each channel, I added effects like EQ and compression to shape the sound of the drums. Step 4. To finish off the beat, I opened up 2 more instances of Serato Sample on separate channels. For the first instance of Serato Sample, I loaded Nautilus. I set 5 manual cue points at a phrase in the song. For each of the cue points, I changed the key by using the key shifting function per pad. I also key shifted the master from 8A to 9A. I then recorded a MIDI performance of the cue points. And for the second instance of Serato Sample, I loaded Think. I set cue points at the tambourine breakdown on the track and recorded a MIDI performance of the tambourines. If you want to learn more, go to support.serato.com.